Alright guys, so I decided today I wanted to do a updated plant tour. I'm not sure when exactly I did the last one, but we're gonna do another, and then I'm gonna film a video later on that has to do with some of the plants that I lost over the course of the growing season, and we're gonna go from there. Um, yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Alright, where to start? I guess we can start here. Alright, my poor dumb cane. Um, he's not a new plant. I've had him a while. I think I had it about a year now. If anybody has any tips about what the heck I might be doing wrong with this, I only water it when it's dry. I've been trying to give it more bright light because I feel like what's happening here is because the soil stays moist too long. So I'm like, okay, I need to give it more light. I try to run the humidifier. Maybe it's too dry. It's not humid enough. But honestly, it does. It did great all summer outside in 100-degree heat with 80% humidity. I bring it inside and it immediately starts to do this. So, anyways, if you have any tips, please help. I've decided that if it dies, I'm not going to replace it. And if it gets to a point where it's dying a lot, I might give it away to one of my friends who might be able to rehab it better than I. Um, yeah, I know, disappointment. It does have new growth, but, I mean, it's just not doing so good. Anyways. And then, this is a newer plant. Oh, we have a yellow leaf here. That sucks. And this is my hibiscus. And I think this is an Imperial Dragon hibiscus. She's doing all right. She already bloomed once. Yeah, so she's doing all right. I'm gonna probably have to repot her again, maybe in the spring. I see some spider mite webs here. That's cool. That's cool for me. I've been having a real issue with some spider mites, and also with fungus gnats. As you can see, I have these do I have one in here? I guess I don't. I have one right there. These fungus gnat attractor things because I can't. They're fucking taking over and I can't deal with them. And then we have my. Excuse me, sir. Sorry, my dog is being. He's being a brat. He's getting restless. I have my croton. Nothing new there. Just some new growth. He's very green and not very red. I try to give it as much sun as possible, but it just doesn't care. Lay down, baby. Good boy. And we have my Fatsia japonica. Now this thing is still, it's got this, see this on here? I don't know what's up with this. Is it on the new leaves? It looks okay. It's maybe got a little bit of it on there. Anyways, I took this outside because it was basically dead. I took this outside in the summertime and it did fine and it actually came back really strong. So I'm really hoping I can rehab this, but I basically got it and it immediately started to die on me. So that's sad. But, because it has this weird, see this weird, and the leaves are really in bad shape. I don't know. If you know what the heck this is, please, again, leave me in the comment. Let me know in the comments because I'm struggling with this guy. And he also gets spider mites very bad. So, cool. Another croton. This is I think it's called a Picasso's paintbrush or something. I don't know if it's the same one, but a croton mamie is the other thing. See how he's leaning? I need to turn it. But other than that, this does fucking great. This has been doing really good in the house. I thought for sure it was going to die, but they do fine. I leave them both right where they're at, right? They get some direct sun. They like it. And I still have my Pilea, the Moon Valley. She's doing all right. I moved her to ceramic because it needed some help retaining. Sorry, the fog is like making... Hold on. There we go. The fog is like making my camera spaz out. Anyways, she needed some help retaining some moisture, so I moved it into a ceramic pot. And it's done okay. As you can see, I'm trying to propagate some dumb cane leaves here. These actually accidentally broke them off, so, you know, if I can get some roots on that, that might help the situation there. Alright, and I got this really sad rattlesnake calathea. Look at this. What the heck? Sorry, I heard something outside. That was really freaking weird. So this is my old plant. This one. This is a new plant that I put in here and combined with the old plant to try to make it fuller. And this one is also starting to look really... Is that actually... No, that's from the old plant. Okay. Well, the new one is actually looking fine then. I mean, other than like maybe this leaf. I really struggle with this plant. Again, this is another one I've decided that if it fully dies on me, I'm just not going to replace it. Because I have other calatheas and they do fine. Well, yeah, mostly fine. I don't know, you know, people say they need humidity. And I don't really struggle. I live in Virginia, so I don't really struggle with humidity. But, I don't know if I'm overwatering. I've tried, like, getting on a schedule of using filtered water, thinking, oh, maybe it's the chemicals or whatever in the water that they don't like. You know, if they die, if my calatheas die, I'm just gonna get on with my life and find a plant that doesn't die on me, because I'm over it. It stresses me out when I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. So, yeah. Okay, so this guy, this is a sensitive plant, and they get, like, little pink puffball leaves, or, well, flowers, and, see how badly, like, this looks poor. He's doing okay up here. He's starting to, like, regrow a bit. But watch. I'll show you what they do. I'll show you on this one. If you touch the leaves, they're supposed to close. Huh. Okay, well, let's try this guy. Watch. You see it? It, like, went down. Do you see how the whole stem went down? Yeah, see it closing up? Anyways, they're like, that's why they're called sensitive plants, because the leaves close up like that. I got this from, I think it was Logies. That's where I got my hibiscus, and I got this rattlesnake calathea there too. And it barely survived the shipping. I should have known. It's like, oh yes, a sensitive plant, that's fine to ship in the mail. And it, granted, I was like, I thought it would take 2 weeks. It arrived in like 3 days. But it's still, like, all the leaves, because they're so delicate, all the leaves fell off. And it's a sad plant. But I'm trying really, really hard to, you know, I've cut off some of the dead stuff, trying really hard to get it to come back to life, but we'll see. You know, if it doesn't, again, I'm just done caring if I lose plants, because it's going to happen. And some plants are just not suited. I don't have a lot of bright light in my house. That's why I have all my plants clustered in this one window. My house is generally pretty dark, so I gotta make do with what I have. My bathroom doesn't have a window. I can't, unless I put grow lights in there, and then I got these grow lights. I got my cool thing here that I made myself for my grow lights, but they get those in the winter. I've already started giving them 3 hours of grow light time in the evening. I think it's from like 6 to 9 or so, just because they need it. I can't have them outside anymore. It's too fucking cold. So, alright, we got this guy. I don't remember how to pronounce this thing. It's doing alright. It's grown a little bit. Like, this is new. You know, it's doing fine. Got him at my local nursery. not a whole ton of variegation like there is from the older leaves when it was in the greenhouse, but the newer stuff is just like straight up green. So we'll see. It probably needs more light. It's another plant that I bought that's gonna, if it survives, it's gonna get really big eventually, and I'm having some issue with space. I'll show you why shortly. And another calathea, and this has like these really tall, weird leaves, but it looks fine. I think I might have gotten this from, I might have gotten this from my local nursery, but it's doing alright. I have this little terracotta pot. I'm going to keep it there for now. Whatever. My philodendron, I think this is the Lickety Split, and it has some new leaves. That's new. It's got some little ones in there. This is another one. When I took it outside, it just flourished. I bring it inside, and it really starts to decline every time. And everybody kept telling me, don't take your philodendrons outside. They're not going to like it. Well, they like it in Virginia, apparently, and they hate it inside. And I've even, put this vent diverter because I was like, maybe it's the AC. The AC blows right down on them. They're not going to like that. I don't know. It's okay right now, but I tend to start seeing, rotted leaves, straight up mushy leaves and stems after about a week of it being inside. They turn yellow and then they're disgusting and they smell really bad. I don't know. I've been trying not to water it quite as much inside because I feel like maybe that's what's causing that. Overwatering? I don't know. Alright, moving on to over here, we have my Pearls and Jade, I think is what this is. It's a pothos. It's doing fine. I've had it right in this spot since I got it. It's got a little bit of brown, trying not to overwater it. I have it in terracotta. I'm trying not to give it too much bright, direct sunlight. It's fine. This is about the extent of what it gets throughout the day. So, decent light, but not too bright. I got my Calathea Mosaica here. It's doing really good. It's got a lot of new leaves, but it's got some brown. As you can see, I think I used to have it over where the rattlesnake Calathea is, and I thought maybe it was getting sunburned. This is the one Calathea I actually will be upset if it dies fully on me. Because my friend gave it to me as a gift. It was on my wish list, like the top of my wish list, and she surprised me. I asked her. She was supposed to buy cuttings, which are these 2 bigger leaves, I think it was. Well, I don't know if you can technically cut a Calathea, but it was a propagation, anyways, that she bought for $5 a piece on a Facebook group we're both friends in. And I asked her, did you ever get those? And she said, oh no, they didn't make it. And then a couple months later, she messages me and she's like, hey, come over and get this plant. And she said she hung on to it just to make sure it lived. So she didn't, she didn't want me to be disappointed. Anyways, this is really sweet. So I'd be really upset. I love this fucking plant. And I think it's really cool. She's actually a friend from high school that I haven't talked to in years until this last year because we both love plants. So we've gotten to know each other again, which is kind of cool. And then I have my Neon Pothos, which doing fine. Again, it's got a little bit of brown. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're winging it. It's doing okay. Okay, then we'll talk about this palm. It's doing fine. Had it in the same spot. It probably needs maybe a little more light than it's getting there, but it's doing fine. And I'm not in any rush for this to get huge because I have no space for it, so it can stay there on my desk by my computer. And then I have my philodendron Shangri-La, I think is what it's called. And it's got a bunch of new leaves. See how these were doing pretty poorly? And then I put it into this concrete container that has no drainage holes, so I have to be really careful. And I put it outside and it freaking did this. It did this. So it went from dying to having a bunch of new growth. Apparently it likes this, maybe because it retains water a little better than what I had it in. And it liked the humidity and the warmth outside, so cool. A lot of these, like, they were dying. I was like, I'm going to move them outside. They'll like it. And they did. So I'm hoping that, you know, through the winter time, they just, at least just don't die on me. Just don't die. Stay alive. And then I have some Marble Queen pothos cuttings that I'm just trying to make into a plant to eventually maybe give to someone, but they're looking pretty rough. I actually think I am giving this... Yeah, I already agreed to give this plant away. Here, I'm going to pull him out so you can see him a little better. I agreed to give this one away to my best friend, who I'm going to see in October. So, she's going to put it in our art studio, because it doesn't need a ton of light, and she has a skylight. It was that or a Monstera, and she said the Monstera is too big. So, she's going to get that. Anyways, this is the mother plant that came from, if you can't tell. And it's got some cool leaves here. And this does alright. I did have it over here. And then I moved him here because it has this big vine. See? And I'm just trying to minimize the amount of damage I do to the leaves. If you can't tell, it's very cramped over here. So, my Goodwill stools there, and that one. I got those specifically to hold plants over here because they were like $3. And, you know, we're a thrifty bitch up in here. Alright. Now on to the reason I'm having some space issues. Here he is. Here's the Monstera. Let me go wide on you. There we go. Okay, so, I think this Monstera is 2 years old now. And this past growing season, I had it outside, and it went crazy. Look at those roots. I took it outside, and it had no aerial roots. And this is what it decided to do. So, and it started putting out these gigantic leaves. And even since bringing it in, it's put this one out. This one is like really weird. I don't know if it's gonna firm up because it's still a new leaf, but also kind of weirdly droopy like this one. Yeah, it's huge. And it's still growing. And I have it in this huge pot that takes 3 watering cans to water. But it's doing really good. I'm happy, but it's just gigantic and I have nowhere to put it, especially indoors. So this side is a little weirdly bald. Do you see how, look at this, how this is. This is just, I don't know, it's growing really weird because the way the light is, so we'll see. Moving on, we have my Chinese evergreen, which I still have in the glass. And I don't know if you can see, oh yeah, you can see some of the roots. That's cool, huh? It's got a little bit of like fungus on the soil right now. I gotta take care of that. Otherwise, it's doing fine. It's doing good. My big old pothos. It's very long. It hangs over my dog's bowls. I don't know how he feels about that, but whatever. I'm gonna go out here while we got a second and show you my snake plant. It's got kind of some new growth. Yep. He just, he lives here. Got a window right here. Yeah. It's the only one I can have out here because if my husband's second cousins and his cousin and their kids come to visit, this is like the one plant they won't fuck with. So, my dog's cart. Sorry, you get to see my whole room. There's my dog. Hi. Everybody wanted to see you because you're cute. Yeah. Okay. Good boy. Alright. My spider plant. It's finally trying to make babies, which is cool. It did have a flower, but now it doesn't. If you didn't know with these, it flowers and then those turn into the little babies. But it started doing that when I had it outside, and it only likes it outside. So I'm hoping, see how these are like turning brown? I'm nervous. All these short ones were ones that completely turned brown every time I tried to bring it back inside. And then I was like, oh no, it's going to die. So I take it back outside. But now it's getting too cold. I can't take it back outside. So, you know, fingers crossed. Please just live. Just live. Make a couple babies. You know? Thrive, please. I repotted it into a bigger hanging pot here that is filthy. Just try to ignore that. When I took it out of the smaller one it was in, it was completely root bound. And I think maybe that's why it kept dying. Because I would like overwater it, I think, and then, I don't know, it couldn't absorb the water properly because there was like no soil. So, you know, there's that. And I've got my Monstera Addisonii over here. He does okay. I have to keep a close eye on him. I feel like this corner that I have here where they hang is like where the plants suffer. So, I'm nervous. I got this from Low Jesus as well, and I really like it. I want it to grow. Because it's like the Monstera and the Pothos combined. So, I really just want it to do good. Anyways. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour. I have a couple plants outside still, like my elephant ears, but I'm not going to show them. They're looking pretty poorly at this point, because it's the end of the season for them. But I'm overwintering them in my garage, and then next year, I'm going to pot them up into larger pots. I put them in self-watering, so hopefully I don't deal with so many drought drooping issues, and I don't have to water them every single day next summer, but we'll see. You know, they did fine this year. Hopefully next year it's even better. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you have a good day. If you have any tips for any of the plants that I have that are, you know, suffering, please let me know. I would really appreciate the help. Trying to minimize the amount of plants that I lose. But like I said, I did lose some. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about my growing season in my garden because that also didn't go so great. See you later. Bye.